Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to ERO, which is European Racing Organization. This is your host and commentator, You Can Beat Me, and we have the F4 division here for you this evening for round 14 of round 18. This is season 5 of this wonderful league, and we will be racing around the Silverstone circuit in the UK for hopefully a very exciting race. So stay tuned as the drivers are still making their final few adjustments because the lobby is not live yet. So I'm not sure if there are more people to join, but we still have a healthy attendance over here. 16 is not a bad turnout as at all, and I'm sure we will be underway pretty soon. So let me know if you can hear me loud and clear and if I need to change anything in my audio settings. But for now, just hang on and we will bring you all the live action from this wonderful division, which is really nice to see. So I'm back. I Yeah, we're still waiting on a couple of drivers who normally should be here because we have the 6 p.m. UK time start, but it's fine for a couple of minutes. Hello, Vicky. Yeah, I know it is named as F3. Watch will change that, so just hang on until my goof up has been corrected. But for now, just hang on and bear with this. It is not F3, it is F4. And we have someone from F3 who's watching, I believe. Fry Pepper is an F3 driver, if he's still watching, but this is still F4, don't worry. Right, so we are finally underway, and this should be a good race indeed. Yeah, you wouldn't mind if you're in F3, I'm sure, Vicky. But let's see, show the pace for the next game, and you might as well be in F3. As we have a comment from the legend, which is Josh Unknown, who handles our Instagram account, so shout out to him for all the hard work. But this is, as we said, this is round 14 of 18 in season 5, and with 3 more rounds to go after this one, the championship fight both for the drivers and constructors is really hotting up. We will talk about that as well, but first let's see how the drivers are going around their laps in the qualifying session. This is an 18-minute quali, as we all know, and it is overcast, so that is the typical British weather which has hit. And for the 19 drivers here today, let's see if there is any rain on the cars. It doesn't seem to be raining right now, but let's see if there is any rain on the cards later on in this session, or maybe even the race. That would be something. Right, I see a Ferrari, one of the first few cars on the track, but yeah, no weather, all dry. That's the comment from Miyake, so that's a confirmation. I don't think there is any weather issues. As is Miyake the first one on track? He is. So Miyake is the first person on the track, and he is being chased by his teammate, and this is very interesting to see, as Miyake and Leclerc, now Leclerc takes that position, but teammates fighting on an outlap is something I've not really seen very often. Right, so plenty of cars filtering out on the track right now, and we will be seeing quick lap times being posted. And Miyake has made his way through the maggots and buckets section, and now is on what I think is the hanger straight before he approaches Stowe. And is that Vicky behind him? No, that's not. So that must be Juice Santi, the championship leader in the Alfa Romeo, who's behind him. But let's follow Miyake here and see what kind of lap time he puts in as he starts his first flying lap, and he's round. So let's switch our attention to Juice Santi. But that is a huge moment for Miyake, who has lost his car, and that's probably his one qualifying lap ruined. As here is Juice Santi approaching the first corner, which is absolutely flat out, and then through the long left-hander before he breaks for Village. Let's see what gear he goes down to. That's third gear. That's probably where I would have gone to, as he goes to second gear for the next section and waits before he puts on the power, because this is a tricky section to navigate if you are running medium or full traction. He goes purple in sector 1, as will stay on board for the entirety of the lap, as through Lewfield now he puts the car on the apex and then back towards the curves as he approaches the Cops corner now, which should be flat as well, as I see a lot of cars at the Lewfield section there, so probably a lot of traffic for them to navigate. As Jude Santee now approaching Maggots, and Maggots keeps it in 8 for the most part of it, goes down a gear for both the final 2 sections of the track. That was clean through there, but probably just a banker lap, so not pushing as much. Now going through Stowe into 6th gear, yeah, that is 6th through there, and almost avoiding the exit curb on the left there before he brakes for the final time on this lap, and then through the final corner will keep his car in the middle of the track, and he goes for a 26.7. so Leclerc is on provisional pole with a 25.3, and the drivers behind are not really able to challenge him right now. As Keru on a lap, he has inverted his lap, as has Lexa, as has Robin, and Black Wolf is on a lap right now. So let's follow Black Wolf here, as Murphy goes P2 in the Haas with a 25.7. so that is a good lap time from Leclerc just to start the session with. That's a 4/10 gap over the cars behind him. And let me quickly decrease the volume here a bit. I think it's a bit too loud, the engine noise especially. So the next time we all ride on board, yeah, I think that's better. As Cycle, who is challenging for the championship, goes P1 with a 25.1. so I think definitely a lap of 24s is on the cards, as Black Wolf is now through the hanger straight and into Stowe he goes, takes that curb nicely, so he must have gained some time there, although this is his first flying lap. And as he comes across the final few corners now, Black Wolf, let's see where this lap puts him. This is his first lap of the session, puts him P7, so pretty decent lap from Black Wolf there. As we can see, Will now is in P8, and is anyone on a lap right now? I think that is Skylar, who's probably going to come in. Or is he going for a lap right now? He is, but I saw him on the lap earlier, so is he going for 2 consecutive hot laps? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, this is Skylar on a lap, and he misses the apex by a little bit in the final corner, but that's not a lot of time he would have lost doing that, as he weaves his wheel a bit, probably fighting the steering wheel there, but he puts it in P8. So the Renaults right now are P7 and P8 right now, as Jude Santee has put a lap time of 25.3 before he comes into the pits for his fresh set of tires. Is Lexa on a lap? Lexa seems to be on a lap in the Alpha Tauri, and a very fast driver is Lexa. Has had a lot of battles with the drivers around him. Let's see where this lap puts him. He goes P4, so that's a good lap again from him, and that's a good first few laps put by these drivers around this track. And with still 6 drivers, let's see if Vicky is on a lap right now. Vicky has invalidated his lap. Rob is on a lap, and let's see his second sector split. He has gone purple into the second sector, if we are to believe Codemasters here. So Robin is completing his lap, and let's see, he had to lift up a little bit, goes wide, but keeps the lap. That was just about marginal there. And Robin now final few corners in his McLaren. This is probably going to be a lap time for the top 10. He goes P4 there with a 25.7, so quite close here between P4 to P6, with 3 drivers within a tenth of each other. And I think we need to follow Keru here, because he is now starting his lap, and he's still in the championship fight. I think he is some 46 points behind Jude Santee, who is the championship leader, but a good couple of races for him and a bad couple of races for Jude Santee can very well change that, as he tries to take the toe from the Mercedes in front, that's Thanasis, and he goes purple into the first sector. So let's see how the rest of this lap is going to be as he goes through Lewfield, keeps it in 3rd gear before short shifting to 4th. He hasn't used a lot of ERS so far. I'm not really sure why that is, or but it shows around 80% right now, and he goes through cops right now. It's absolutely flat out. There's a car up ahead. I hope he's not. Oh, he's going to. That's Miyaki, who has gone out of the way just at the last moment. So that has unsettled Keru a bit. You can see he went wide at the exit of Megat's, or rather at the entry before the last corner, but there are a couple of cars ahead of him who are also not on hot laps. Let's hope his lap does not get invalidated or worse, impeded. A Slimicam again going off the track at the last moment, but I don't think that really mattered because Keru Prit is working quite well as Keru goes pole with a 24.9. so that is the lap we have been waiting for, and with one more run left, Keru is in a really good position here. Is Miyake on a lap right now? He is on a lap right now. He's on a lap on a medium tire. So let's have a quick look at the tires these guys have used. And you can see it's Miyake who is attempting that alternate strategy where he goes on a set of medium tires and then puts on a set of soft tires for the second stint of the race. So driver still staying inside. Oh, he has invalidated has Miyake, so he has to come in again. So that is 2 runs wasted for the Williams driver, whose teammate Jimmy Hunt is not here today. Jimmy Hunt won the last race in Netherlands, the Zandvoort circuit, which was his first race win of this season, but he is not racing today. We have Leclerc who is substituting for him, and cycle on a lap right now. Let's quickly see if he is. He's on an out lap, so we will have to wait until is Murphy on a lap. I think he is. He's using his ERS, so he is on a lap, the Haas driver, and as he goes through the cop section, keeping it flat out and keeping it within track limits. That is very, very important around here, as he now is in the Maggots and Beckett section. That was nicely done and lost a little bit of momentum at the curb there, but that was very nicely done. And I'm not sure if he was up. I forgot to see the top left there, or the top right rather, but here is Murphy and he's about to finish his lap. Let's see where this puts him. He seems to be improving, otherwise he would have dived into the pits anyway, but let's see what this lap is going to be from the Haas drivers. Murphy goes P5 with a 25.3, and behind I think it was Adam Baker who was on a lap who has gone P7. So good lap from Adam, and he would be hoping to join his teammate as Lees, or rather there's Edrod, who has gone wide into the cops corner and has thus invalidated his lap. As that comment, I don't know why, it always cracks me up. That's Watch saying hit like or get a puncture. So you know Watch has arrived when you see that comment. But let's see, is Vicky has popped up into P4, and Cycle has, it's Thanasis goes pole with a 24.917, so that's 600s faster than Keru. And is Zaran Knight on a lap right now? He's just coming back into the pits. Who else is on a lap? Is Jude Santi has gone P6. I think he was just completing his lap, so not really sure who else is on a lap right now. Robin has invalidated. Oh, Lex has gone wide again, and that is his run done. He will still have one more run to go as he goes really slowly there. I think he's just waiting for the cars to go across him before he... What is Slimicam doing? Does Slimicam have a quali ban here? He's into the pits and he has not come out even once, so not entirely sure what happened there. But this is Cycle who is on a lap, and as he finishes his lap, let's see where it puts him. Is he going faster? He has jumped Zyron there, and Unknown and Waj are debating who started that puncture joke. So guys, let me know before the end of this race if you are able to come at an agreement as to who has started the race, as Leclerc, who has, I don't think he's on a lap right now. He was slower by a second or so, but with 4 minutes left in the session, it is Jude Santi who I think is on a lap right now. So we will have to see what his first sector split is as he approaches this straight. He's up by almost a 10 there, so this could be a good lap from him, and he needs that good lap because his championship rivals are ahead of him right now in P2 and P3. And his own, sorry, I'm cracking up here, that's just me watching the comments right now, but he's behind his teammate right now is Jude Santi. Vicky is in P6, and that's good result for the Alfa Romeo if it ends like this, because Alfa Romeo are in a battle with the Williams boys for the Constructors Championship, just 2 points between them. So Jude Santi has to put up a good lap here, and he's doing exactly that as he goes purple into sector 2, and with the final few corners of the lap remaining, this might be his last attempt to put a quali lap in, and he is doing justice to that as Jude Santi in the Alfa Romeo now approaching the start finish line. Let's see where this lap is. It is just P5. I was hoping it would be higher, but it is P5 right now, and I don't think he's going to go any faster than that because there's not enough time left in the session. It's pretty overcast right now, and I'm not entirely sure if it's going to rain, but my predictions, because that's what being asked in the comments, I would definitely put Keiru and Cycle in the podium because they have the bit between their teeth and they want to ensure they finish on the podium. And I think I will go for Jude Santi as well because he has been really consistent, and with the final few races of the season left, I don't think he would be letting go of a chance because he's starting P5 right now, and that's a pretty good starting position. We know that it's a bit of a slipstream and DRS train over here if the cars are close to each other. So as long as you're getting that DRS, you are not really in a bad position, and then you can probably go for an undercut or an overcut. And makes as who was that? Was that Adam Baker? That was Adam Baker, and he almost took out his teammate there. He completely lost his wing, and as Cycle was coming out into the pits, Adam Baker was steaming past him. It's really lucky for Cycle, he could have been hit there, as Adam Baker, the podium getter in Monaco, on that stint of 38 laps on medium tires, which I will never ever forget. His qualifying is done, and is Thanes is on a lap right now. He is, so he will start his final quali lap, as behind it is Keiru and Cycle, who are also on the route laps, as Miyake has retired, so that is disappointing for the Williams boys. There's just one Williams in this race, and Miyake is starting P17 right now, so not a good starting position for him, but in the 26 laps to come, I'm sure he can make up a few places and hope to finish higher up the grid than he is right now, as Cycle now has his tires prepared and is going for one last attempt. He has 600s to gain, and Keiru has he started his hot lap? Yeah, he's just starting now, but will follow Cycle here as he approaches the village section, and let's see how this one goes for him. Riding on board with the Racing Point driver, he knows Jude Santi is into P2, and has he not left his pit yet? He's not, so that is his qualifying done, as Cycle has gone half a tenth quicker And let's see where Keru is in terms of his split time. He has also gone half a turn. So these guys are pretty neck and neck here. I think second and third sector is where they will be hoping to gain more time, especially the third sector, because this section is absolutely flat out. That's just on the limit there from the Racing Point driver. Cycle is now approaching Maggots and Beckets, my favorite section of the track, into the 7th gear before chucking it into 6th, and that was nicely done. Takes a little bit of the grass, but let's see if, yeah, he is up by more than a 10th here. This is turning out to be a good lap as Keru behind has invalidated, so Cycle has a really good chance to start on pole here. Let's follow him for the rest of the lap as Thenesis goes. And yeah, he's not gone faster, but this has been a decent lap time from Cycle as Leclerc goes P2 in the Williams on the as Cycle goes P1. So that's pole position for Cycle. And what a lap that has been with a 24.7. That is a comprehensive margin of 2/10. And talk about saving the best for the last. What a lap from this guy. He's into the pole position with his championship rivals starting P4 and P6 right now, as it's pretty close between the Alfa Romeos in P6 P7. It's hardly 3 thousandths of a second. And as Vicky has just put in a comment that he lost 4/10 during his lap, so I'm not sure which corner he lost those 4/10, but seems like this is going to be the grid order for the race. And we don't know the weather for the race yet, but it could be dry, and or it could not be, because we almost saw everyone except for Miyake trying to put this lap on the soft ice. There's a little bit wheel banging and crashing going on the out lap, but okay. So Vicky sneezed during his hot lap, which is why he has lost 4/10. So not a good time to sneeze, Vicky, but let's Cycle on pole, and we will go through the rest of the grid once the timing screen is up on the stream. Yeah, so Cycle is on pole. Thanes is in the Mercedes in P2 with 2/10 behind him. It's pretty close for P2, P3 and P4 with Leclerc and Keru lining up on the second row. Zyron Knight in the McLaren is lining up alongside Jude Santi in the third row. Jude Santi's teammate is Vicky, is behind him in P7. Mats in the other Mercedes in P8. The other McLaren of Robin in P9 with Skylar at the top 10. These are the top 10 drivers who will be starting on those soft tires. And Murphy behind is in P11 right now with Adam Baker, Lees and Ed Rod in P13, P12, P13, P14 respectively. So these guys who are starting outside of top 10 will have the option to choose whatever tires they want to for the race start. And if it is overcast again over here, so not sure if it's going to rain again. We will have to wait, but this is going to be an interesting one, because I'm sure if it is a dry race, at least for the first half of it, we will see some drivers trying to go on that alternate strategy of starting on the yellow walled medium tires to the soft tires. So let's see. Right, so the drivers are on the grid and they have started their formation lap. This is the time for the moment of truth, the tire choices, and there you see a lot of drivers on those medium tires. There's 1 2 3 4 5 6 drivers who are on the medium tires, so that should be a good strategy mix, because we see tires which are soft tires, the red walled soft tires and the yellow walled mediums as well. So the soft tires should go about 9 to 10 laps, maybe 11 as well. And if someone is being really brave and has good tire saving capabilities like Checo Perez, they could Is that spray from the back of the car? Yeah, I don't think that's spray. That was just me getting excited because I thought, yeah, that's not spray. So yeah, as I was saying, those soft tires should go until lap 10 or 11, maybe even 12 if these guys are feeling brave, and the medium tires runners should be hoping to make a pit stop at around lap 15 or 16 to be faster at the end of the race, but probably lose track position until then. So for those who are watching and know these drivers, what are your predictions for the top 3? Who do you think are going to finish in the podium positions for this race, as we have very fast drivers at the start and at the front of the field as well as in the middle and the back of the field. So anything could happen, and the start of the race will be very crucial around this one, because once you are in that DRS train, it is very hard to overtake, and that's where no watch, it cannot be you. You cannot finish on the podium in this division. Maybe in F2 if you drive fast enough. But yeah, that's your prediction. Keru Cycle and Jude Santi. Okay, that's a good one. That is something which I would have gone for as well. The 3 championship contenders right now. But you never know. Leclerc and Thanesis are looking pretty fast as Racing Gupta has just joined. And he has left. I don't think he has enough time to jump in the car and make it to the race start. But either ways, we are lining up on the grid, and in just a moment, if Codemasters allow it, we should be underway. Yeah, that's the 3, 4, 5 lights on the grid. Lights out and away we go. It's a good start from Thanesis in the Mercedes. He might be challenging Cycle into turn 1 as Thanesis has taken the lead, but round the outside goes Keru and he will take P2. What a start from Keru there, as there is wings flying all around, and oh, that's a virtual safety car as Keru is being pushed wide there. And let's quickly have a look at position changes while this happens. That is 9 positions from Lexa. Is that really Lexa? He is. That's Lexa into P6, and he has lost 9 positions, with Zyron Knight and Leclerc losing the most number of positions. They're running P17, P18 right now, so something must have happened into turn 1. Cycle got a good start and he has ensured he has that lead, as it's green flags right now, so the virtual safety car is no longer in effect. I see a lot of penalties as well for drivers. All these are under for collision under the virtual safety car, as Lexa now is going to challenge Vicky for the P5. Let's see if Lexa can, as that would be a warning which would have gotten because of that. But that is a good start from Lexa. Slimmy Cam is behind Black Wolf right now, and he has almost lost it going at the exit of the corner there, at the exit of Maggots and Beckets, but I don't think it's going to happen this time around, as we turn our attention back to this position as Miyake is upper place as well. So Miyake has gained a lot of positions as Cycle makes the fastest lap of the race since he's leading, but it's Lexa who is challenging Vicky right now, as ignore what's going on the top left of the screen. That's just the normal glitch which Codemaster absolutely loves to have, so bear with us for a few moments before that is corrected. But here we go. This is Lexa not using his ERS right now, and behind it is Slimmy Cam, who is still behind Black Wolf here, so nothing happening there. As up front it's Keru who is now on the back, not exactly, but that Thanes is going really wide, and that would have been a corner cutting warning for him. Let's see if Keru is able to take advantage of that, as Thanes is a little bit out of sorts into Maggots and Beckers. So this is Keru now, and he is determined to use that battery in ERS. No, he's not anymore. He has stuck behind for now. So that's the DRS train we were talking about. Once you are in that train, you are golden, and you can just wait until the driver in front absolutely depletes their ERS, and then you can try to make your move or maybe go for an undercut on this track, which is pretty powerful. Cycle sets another fastest lap of the race, as behind it seems like it's Lees who is losing time to Will now in the final few corners, but he has a very fast driver in Miyake behind him, and this is the battle for the final points paying position on the grid. So pretty important this battle, as all the time Miyake seems to be catching Lees. So I don't think an overtake will happen here, because we are still on the second lap right now, rather we are on the third lap, but DRS is now open. So this would really make things interesting, as the rear wing of cars flap open if they are within 1 second of the car ahead, and what that means, it gives them an extra speed of about 15 kilometers per hour, or maybe is it 15 miles per hour, I'm not 100% sure. But either ways, we are turning our attention to Adam Baker, as Slimmy Cam behind has made his move, but Adam Baker is on a charge and he has Robin in his sights as he goes wide both of them because of the dirty air for cars in front. So Adam will have to stay behind for now. Is Keru on the attack here? He is, but not able to make an interception again because of the DRS with Thanasis has, as Miyake and Slimmy Cam were fighting a little bit, it seemed like. And what's going on here? Is Miyake on a charge? It is. He will have DRS the next time. They're on the Hamilton straight, this is called. So this is the straight which is just built, as Miyake goes down the inside. There is a little bit of a battle going on here, as Miyake has pushed his way through, and that's a little bit of a good defensive move by Villeneuve there, but ultimately he has to concede position, as behind it is Slimmy Cam now on the inside of Villeneuve, and he will have the position comfortably. So Villeneuve in the Ferrari losing 2 positions in a matter of 2 corners, but that is Adam now who has overtaken Robin for P7. So that is a move which was coming for a while now, as up ahead this is Keru, and is he going for a move now? Does he think it's the time? He thinks a little bit for it, but then quickly is turning off his battery usage in the ERS. So he is more than happy to stick behind these guys, and he knows that cycle up ahead is not really, in fact he is still within that 1 second of Thanasis. So he knows that he doesn't really need to push that hard right now, and he can probably conserve his tires and ERS, as Lexa has gotten a 3-second penalty and he's still behind Vicky. And I think this time when they are on the Wellington straight, an overtake opportunity could be on the cards for the Alpha Tauri driver. Let's ride with them and see if Lexa can actually split the Alfa Romeos who are running P4 and P5 right now. Let's see, let's ride on board with him. He uses his ERS and DRS. As you can see, the rear wing is flapped open, and this is Lexa into P5, as Thanasis has already a 3-second penalty, as well as Vicky tries to fight back on the outside, but he will lose the position, but he will have the DRS next time they're on the hangar straight if Vicky is able to stick with him. So let's see if this is going to work out, as Keru now has a really good chance, because the gap which cycle has to Thanasis will not give him DRS for the hangar straight. So this is a really good opportunity for Keru, as he turns on his DRS and he's using his battery, as Thanasis is discharging battery right now, and that is the move done from Keru, who goes into P2. So that is, oh, that's a little bit of a swipe there for the Mercedes, but no harm done, and he has not lost any damage there, as Miyake is on the back of Lees here, and Miyake will have to stay behind for at least a couple of more corners, but he is really determined. Let's see how many positions he has gained, Miyake. I think that's a lot of positions. He started P17 if I'm not wrong, so there should be 6 positions gained. Yeah, there it is on the screen, 6 positions gained for Miyake. So starting on those soft tires has helped him gain these positions, but he has to ensure that he doesn't lose touch of the leaders so as to also finish in the points come the end of the race. Now this is Jude Santee, who's now on the back of Thanasis, and it could very well be the championship contenders in the podium positions once this overtake is done. The gap is 7 tenths right now, so not sure if this lap would be the lap where that overtake happens, but this time around let's follow Miyake here, because Lees has a 1+ second gap to the car ahead. So Miyake, as he goes a little bit out of sorts at the exit of Copse, is now lining up a move on the Renault of Lees in front. Here's Miyake. Now he has used his DRS and ERS, and he is absolutely determined to make it stick. Let's see if he runs out of straight or he will make his move. It's a late lunge down the inside for Miyake, and he is through, I believe. Oh no, Lees is fighting back. So Lees does have the position. No, he does not, and there's a little bit of a contact, and Slimicam is right behind these two. So if Lees and Miyake are not careful, Slimicam will take that position. Let's ride on board with Slimicam here in the Alpha Tauri, and let's see if these guys are able to keep it clean to ensure that there is no drama for the stewards to inquire, as Racing Gupta has left the session after sticking around for a while here, after realizing he will not be able to race. But this is Slimicam now. I don't think he'll be able to make a move this time around, as Jude Santee this time is just, he's lost a lot of time, but the battle at the front is something which we have missed, and it's Keru who has closed up to Cycle, who was having a good enough gap at the front. But this is Keru who is now on the back of his rival, and I don't think he'll be able to make this move this time around, but he will use that DRS to close up and probably go on the next lap, as behind Vicky, after being overtaken by Lexa, is sticking with him, so he is able to probably save his fuel and battery and go for a move later on that made, as Lees has overtaken Miyake here. So these guys are absolutely swapping positions. Has Miyake gone into the pits? No, he's not. So these guys are still fighting side by side, and that is what a battle these guys are having. As Cycle, what has happened to Cycle? Oh, Cycle from the lead has lost 5 positions there and might lose 1 more to his teammate. I'm not entirely sure what happened to him, but Cycle has lost a lot of positions. Let's ride. Does he have wing damage here? That would be catastrophic. He doesn't have wing damage, so probably just lost his car somewhere, but that is something which he absolutely did not want, considering he had Keru and Jude Santee both behind him. But this is now Vicky, who is going to come back for a charge on Lexa. So after being overtaken, Vicky has made up some ground, and look at the battery he has a lot of battery, and this is a good time to make an overtake, I believe. But let's see if he's able to make it. I don't think on this lap he'll be able to make it. Vicky goes a little bit wide, and that's a 3-second penalty, as Keru is the first person into the pits. That leaves Thanasis and Jude Santee out, as Cycle pits as well, so he pits along with his championship rival on the same lap. And let's ride on board with Cycle here and see if he is going for a change in wing, because there was no apparent damage on the wing there. But the way he lost his car, I would not be surprised if there's a wing change over here. No, there's no wing change, so that was just probably some mistake which he made. He's on the set of mediums, which will take him to the end of the race, and he will lose a lot of positions here, but once these pit stops are sorted out, he will gain those back. As now Vicky is still battling Lexa. He is behind him and has been for quite some while now, but with the extra ERS he will have and the help of DRS on the back straight, he should be able to make his way through if he is within those 3 or 4 tenths of the car in front. Right, here goes Vicky now. The gap is less than 3 tenths, and this time he will be making the move on Lexa. This is pretty straightforward because he has caught him quite early there, but Lexa is not wanting to give the position easily. It seems like Lexa is still ahead, but Lexa is now behind. Where is Lexa? Oh, I think he lost it somewhere. We were not able to catch that, but I think Lexa lost the car somewhere. I hope he doesn't have damage because he was having a good battle there. But Jude Santi has still stayed out for one more lap as Thanasis has spit, and let's see where Thanasis comes out in comparison to Keru and Cycle, who are... Keru is now on the Hamilton straight. He will definitely be ahead of Thanasis there, but let's see where Lexa is. Lexa is quite behind, so he will be behind for the rest of the race, at least for the first few laps of the race as well. Thanasis has filtered out in P12, but up ahead it is Lees and Slimicam. So these three, Miyake, Lees and Slimicam, are still fighting, and Miyake and Lees both are on soft tires, so none of them have actually decided to pit and take themselves out of this battle and probably run in some free air. They're right now, this battle itself is so engaging for them maybe that they are not in favor of making a pit stop right now, as Slimicam goes really wide there as he almost loses the car but keeps it there, and Lees will not be able to make a move this time around. But Jude Santi now pits as Vicky is going to stay out for one more lap, and that's Lees into the pits. And let's see where Jude Santi comes out with respect to Keru, who is now approaching the final couple of corners of the lap. Here goes Keru. You can see Jude Santi's Alfa Romeo, and I think he will be overtaken by Thanasis as well. Yes, he has, and while he has fresher tires, he will have lost a position too there, as here is Black Wolf, who has overtaken Will now for P6, and these medium runners will be going for at least 3 or 4 more laps before they are called into the pits, as Miyake and Vicky are the only soft runners who have not pitted yet, as Villeneuve is now on the back of Black Wolf, and after being overtaken he might have his mind made up to take that place back. Let's see if it's going to happen on this lap. Doesn't seem like it because of the gap which Villeneuve has up ahead. So let's start our attention to this battle, which is Lees and Lexa, both of whom have pitted. A Cycle gets a 3-second penalty as well, so things not looking good for Cycle right now, as Keru is making a move, as Slimicam has made a move. That's because Miyake has pitted, but this is Lees now, who is behind Lexa, and let's see if an overtake is on the cards on the hanger straight. I think Lees is going for it round the outside. He will try. Can he make it stick as Lexa goes a little bit on the grass? Lees tries to make a switchback work, but it's not going to happen this time around. They will have to wait until the next time there's an overtaking opportunity. But Lee stays behind for now in P14, and Miyake has yet to come out of the pit, so he will lose a lot of positions there. Maybe he went for a lap or 2 more than he should have. I'm not sure. Maybe time will tell. But Lee's now again on the back of Lexa, and judging by the ERS he has and the help of that rear wing being open, he should be sailing past Lexa this time around. Let's see where Lexa puts his car. He's taking the outside route, which will turn to the inside for the next corner. So Lexa defending really well right now, and Lexa keeps that place but next time Lees gets a better exit than Lexa out of there, but the top speed of the Renault seems to be higher than. Oh, that's really wide from Lexa here. So he has lost the position. Not sure if he will be able to claw his way back, as up front this is Villeneuve, who is yet to pit, and so is Black Wolf. And these guys are battling for P4 right now, but it will be outside the top 10 after both of them make their pit stops. So if there's a safety car right now, it will really help those medium runners, because they can go on a set of soft tires and easily go to the end of the race, and with having the back bunched up will really help them. As now Keru is on the back of Villeneuve, and Villeneuve doesn't have DRS, so that is advantage Haas driver, and he will be hoping to make that move and put a car between him and Thanasis, who anyways has a penalty. So this looks like a pretty comfortable position for Keru right now without any time penalties. And behind he has put now two cars, as Skyler has retired. That's a sector 3, that's into the pit lane, sorry. So it's into the pit lane, so I don't think that will cause any safety car, as here is Keru now. And let's ride on board with Thanasis, because this is going to be an overtake by Keru. What if Thanasis can go through as well? That is something which was on the cards, and Villeneuve does not fight that at all, as both the stoppers who have made their one and only pit stop are through, and Villeneuve, as he comes back into the pits, has released Jude Santi as well. And in all that, somehow Cycle has lost a position to Edrod here. I think Cycle was ahead of Edrod anyway, but he has lost a position, so maybe some mistake he made. For now he is in P9 with 3-second penalties, so he will be hoping he can get some pace back into that Racing Point car of his and challenge his championship rivals in these final 12 laps of the race. We are already halfway through the race. It has flown by, and with a lot of battles that usually happens. We're riding on board, or rather we are on the battle between Thanasis, Keru and Black Wolf right now, as Keru will make a move on Black Wolf as well. So Keru really putting those fresh medium tires to good effect, as Thanasis is trying to make a move as well, but then Black Wolf might be hoping to come into the pits, but Black Wolf has now stayed out. I'm not sure if he wanted to stay out, but because there was a car on the inside, he could not come back into the pits, and Keru is through, so is Thanasis. So these two drivers are making double moves on the drivers up ahead, but the next car that they have to catch is more than 6 seconds ahead. So I think they will not be able to catch them before they make a pit stop. Either ways, further behind it's Vicky, who is now battling Edrod, who has now lost position again. So Cycle and Edrod switching positions a couple of times, and Vicky is now going to overtake the Red Bull driver for P9 right now. Here is Miyake on Robin Greaves. This Miyake is using his DRS to good move. Is he going for a late move on the? Is this definite contact there? That's tire banking. I don't think any wings flew off the cars there, but that's Miyake who's through, and he is leading both the McLaren drivers right now. So Zyronite, after starting P4, I think, was it P4? Let's see in position change. It was P5, and he has dropped to the back as Jude Santi. What happened there? Black Wolf is fighting back on those old medium tires. Black Wolf has fighting back, And as Slimmy pits, Black Wolf is staying out for one more lap at least, as is Adam Baker and Murphy. So that's interesting to see, because usually drivers do pit by the end of lap 16 or rather lap 15, because they can easily do 10 laps on those soft tires with lighter fuel on board. But either ways, they know what they're doing, I'm sure, as riding on board with Keru, or rather Cycle, and he's not able to make his way past the driver who's on a very old set of medium tires and also on a different strategy. So all this is allowing Jude Santee to just go away and off into the distance and catch Thanasis, who is on his own battle to Keru right now. So this could be really interesting here, as Thanasis has really closed down the gap. And let's see if this time around, I think it's a little bit too far to make an overtake right now, but you never know. He's using all his ERS, he doesn't have much, and that's Cycle who is now going to make a move on Black Wolf. So that is Cycle into P6, and I think the next time he is round this corner, he will have gained a couple of positions because of pit stops. By the way, Murphy is still not pitted, but that Cycle into P6, which will turn to P5 at the end of the race. Adam Baker is into the pits and he's on those soft tires, but he will come out. Will he come out in P7? Yeah, he'll definitely come out in P7. So he has a lot of time to catch up to these guys. Let's see if he has the pace, because he definitely has the tires to catch to these guys and make it to the end of the race, as Lees and Lexa are still locked in a battle of their own, and Lexa now is on the back of Adam. So Adam, who has just come out of the pits, is on those fresher, Lees almost loses it, but Adam is on those fresher soft tires, so he should, as Lees gets a 3-second penalty because of going wide, but it is advantage Adam right now. I know he will not have any DRS probably for the rest of the race, but his tire advantage should be enough to keep him in front, and especially that he has no penalties. This is looking really good for him. Let's have a quick look at how many positions he has gained. So he's gained 5, so he started P12 and he's likely to finish P7 as it stands, but it could be even P6 or P5 if he's able to close up the gap. As this is Lees now, who is on a move, but behind it is the McLaren boys who are fighting, and this is Zyron Knight, who has made his way past Robin for P12, and both of them DRS, so it might not work out. As ahead it is Miyake, who has lost a position to Slimmy. So Miyake, after that wonderful start, is on those medium tires, but Slimmy is on an alternate strategy, so his soft tires will be definitely working better than those yellow wall medium tires. So it's only way upwards for Slimmy right now, and Miyake will have to be content with probably running his own race right now, since the McLarens behind him are also on the medium tires. So up front, Murphy is still not pitting. Is he going to the end of the race, Murphy? I think he might be, because by this time he would have definitely pitted. And let's have a look at the stops. Has he pitted? No, he has not. Is he going to pit at the end of this lap? Because this is really late. You can easily do 10 to 11 laps on soft tires. And is he pitting? No, he's pitting. So he would probably, is he hoping for a safety car, which would have helped his cause? But either ways, this is Murphy into the pits, and Jude Santee, Keru and Thanasis will be taking those podium positions from Cycle and Vicky, who by the way has really got up to Cycle here. So next time they are on the Wellington Straight, Vicky might be thinking of an overtake here, because Cycle is just within that, or outside that 1 second gap he needs to get DRS. So let's see if on the main straight, or rather the Wellington Straight, Cycle gets DRS. He doesn't, so this is encouraging for Vicky, as up front Jude Santee and Thanasis have gone side by side, with Jude Santee taking P2, and that has relegated Thanasis into P3 as Black Wolf sets the fastest lap of the race on those fresh soft tires. But it's Jude Santee into P2, and that's that consistency again which has put him into the lead of championship. But Lees is still in a battle with Lexa, and these guys have been battling all race long, and I don't think they have any plans of slowing down or giving up for the final 7 laps of the race. This is Lees now finally on the move, but Lexa keeps his foot in, and all the time Murphy behind is watching patiently as Lees and Lexa are making their way through the final 2 corners of this lap, as the Haas driver is just waiting patiently behind. He knows he doesn't have any penalties. He also knows that these guys have worse tires than him in terms of the speed of these tires, so he should have that advantage either way, but he would be hoping to get it done on the track rather than off the track and secure his P7 right now, which he's basically fighting for. Here is Murphy's going to make a move on the inside. He is making a move, and has he made it stick? He has. So that is Murphy into P8, and next time they have DRS, he will be challenging Lexa for P7 right now. As up front, there's something which has happened to Jude Santee. This is Thanasis going round the outside of Jude Santee, and that is the Mercedes into P2, as behind Cycle has also closed up to the gap. So this is going to be interesting here, as Cycle is behind Vicky right now. Murphy has overtaken Lexa as we assumed he would, and here is Jude Santee and Thanasis battling for P2 right now, but Jude Santee probably has that covered since both the drivers around him have those penalties which will be added to the race time at the end of the race. So Keiru is probably going to run away with this one, considering the gap he has and considering he has no penalties, and these guys are battling so much that it is costing both of them time, but not track position as of now, which probably is why they are fighting for almost half a lap now, and probably for one more time when they are on the hanger straight. Jude Santee will try to take that position back on Thanasis. So here is Cycle, who is using all his battery here. So an interesting choice, because he knows that Jude Santee has the DRS, so maybe he could have conserved his battery, but he decides to deplete almost all of his battery right now to get as close to Jude Santee as possible and force him into a mistake, as Leclerc gets a 3-second penalty. He's running P15 right now, and it hasn't been the best of the races for him because of the first lap incidents he was involved in, along with Siren Knight, which made both of them lose a lot of positions. As this is Vicky now, who's going for a move on Cycle, who almost taps Vicky here, but Cycle, who was trying to get close to Jude Santee and Thanasis, who are fighting up front, had to be wary of the attack from Vicky behind, and Siren Knight has made up its stop right now, probably to go on a set of soft tires and also try for the fastest lap, which will take away the point, the extra point or the bonus point from this leading pack. Right, here we go. There's 4 laps left after this one, and this is the battle for P2 right now if you disregard penalties, and that is going to be very very crucial as Vicky goes onto the grass, and that has not helped his run at all as Jude Santi is now just almost 1/10 behind Thanesis. So he's getting really close right now, but it's not really working out as Lees is 8-7 tenths away from Lexa. So these guys, as we discussed earlier, have been battling all race long, and as both of them oh, that's real synchronization, both of them getting the 3-second penalty exit of the Stowe corner. But up front, this is Cycle, who has again made his way onto the gearbox of the Alfa Romeo, or Jude Santi, who is himself trying to make a move on Thanesis. Jude Santi goes for it on the inside. There's no contact right now. Thanesis just about covers him on the outside, and this is going live down to the wire. As look at the gap to Keiru is all the time increasing, and it's not really helping Jude Santi's charge here, but neither it is helping Sickle here because of time penalties. Let's see if this time Cycle can actually make a move, because Jude Santi has been stuck behind the Mercedes for quite a long time here. So here goes Sickle now. I think he will be using his DRS. Yes, he does. So is Jude Santi, who has DRS and ERS both. But let's see if Cycle can make a move down the inside of Jude Santi here. He goes for the move, but Jude Santi will keep the position, sticks it around the outside, and will have the better line going into the next corner. Oh, that's Jude Santi. That's Cycle around as well, and that has invited Vicky into the equation. But that's probably the second mistake Sickle has made. The first one was when he was in the lead, and this time around he has lost DRS to the car in front, and that will make him vulnerable to Vicky behind. As behind, it is a three-way battle as Robin is through and so is Leclerc. So both of them making an overtake on Bill now, as there's the Mercedes of Mats also trying to make a move. Will it stick? He has gone deep there, and I think he will have to consider position to Ferrari here. So not really happening for one Mercedes, but the other Mercedes right now is running P2 and is battling the likes of Jude Santi and Sickle for the place on the podium. They are in a kind of DRS train right now. I don't think Jude Santi is close enough to make a move this time. But talking about close enough, Lexa is close enough. But will he able to make a move this time? I'm not entirely sure. He's using his battery as well as his ERS. But he will just run out of straight, I believe, before they hit the brakes for the next corner. And he does stay behind for now. Right, something is happening up front. Sickle now. These guys are really battling out in the final few laps of the race. I really think Jude Santi still has the upper hand, but you can never say never and hope that people around can get a time penalty so as to ensure the track position. We are riding on board with Sickle in the racing point right now, and this is going to be a hell of a finish for the Silverstone circuit, as Keiru has a gap of 6 seconds now. It doesn't matter as Sickle is trying to make a move as well. Oh, Sickle and Jude Santi both collide there. Jude Santi has lost a heap of positions there, and is he going to lose one more to Adam? No, he's not for now. Sickle has lost a position to Jude Santi's teammate in Vicky. And if we have a look at time penalties here, so Vicky is not going to finish on the podium because of his time penalties, and Jude Santi will finish P4 if he's able to catch up to Vicky the final few laps of the race. So we will have to, as Lexa has 26 seconds of penalties, 17 seconds for Robin and 12 seconds for ERO Blackwell. So that's a lot of penalties, as we have already started the last lap of the race, and with Vicky and Cycle also battling, Miyake gets a 3 second. So it seems like Vicky will keep his P3, or rather he will finish in P4, because the gap which Jude Santi has is not enough right now to climb a position. So Jude Santi might just lose out on a potential P2 because of that contact with Cycle. So this is something for the stewards to look at. But up ahead it is Keru, who has driven almost the perfect race, and what a time this is to get his win, which is the third win in 4 races. Keru is your race winner in Silverstone, with Thanasis will finish in P2. So really strong result for him. Cycle will jump for Vicky for the final place on the podium, with Vicky finishing in P4. That's a P4 and P5 for the Alfa Romeo boys, with Adam Baker finishing in P6. Murphy will finish in P7, but behind it's going to be a lot of different changes because of time penalties, with Slimicam in P8, Lee's in P9, rather it's Miyake in P9. So Williams do get 2 points from this, and Lexa is after the points anyway, and he is going to lose a lot of positions because of his humongous number of time penalties. That's something which I have not really seen very often from Lexa, and from especially in race where he has been fighting a lot, especially Lee's, but that is something which I did not expect at all. Maybe there were a couple of 5 seconds penalties to go along with it as well, as he's tapping the Renault, as Slimicam is given the driver of the day by the game. But we will have a link in the Discord to see who actually wins it. But what a race win it has been for Keru, who again is basically telling the drivers around that he is still in the championship fight with his rival Sickle in P3, and they will be happy to see Jude Santi finish P5 right now. So what a race this has been, and let's have a final look at the table or the race classification right now. As we saw, Miyake finish P9, the others we have already covered. P10 goes to Lee's after a lot of battling with Lexa, who finished P13. P11 and P12 are Leclerc and Villeneuve. So good race for Villeneuve, but Leclerc lost up a lot of positions at the start. Matt starting P8, finished P14. Adrod finishing P15, and Zyron Knight, also one of those people who got caught up in the lap 1 incident, has the fastest lap though, so that was his pace, and unfortunately he couldn't show it, finishing in P16, with Robin and ERO Blackwell finishing in P17 and P18. Skyler was the only non-finisher of the race. He retired into the pits, and that has been the Silverstone Grand Prix of the F4 division in season 5. So that really heats the championship battle up going into the last 3 races, which is Canada, USA and Brazil, which is the season finale. We all love season finale in Brazil, and going by the championship standings, it should be a really close fight in both the drivers and constructors. So do ensure you tune in to further races as well. We have the F3 and the F2 races tomorrow on this YouTube channel, where you will see other drivers fight it out, and our F1 Division 1 race is on Sundays. So hit like if you enjoyed that broadcast, and we have 490 subscribers right now, so if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and help us on our journey to 500 subscribers. But that's it from the comms box this weekend. I will see you next week. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye and good night.